Oh. Oh, what the shit was that? To be fair, the force pull is kind of shitty of all. It's not useful in this mode. Howdy, howdy. Someone watching me, I guess. They noticed I was watching and they got nervous. They got scared and I scared them away. Did the binaural beats work? They were relaxing, but I don't think I got high, per se. I don't think I'm one of the people that it works on. Just because I do have, like, the ability to have, like, HPPD, and I do get, like, visuals off of weed if I get high enough because of that. And so, probably would have gotten visuals if I was really baked. So I don't really think it worked for me. Marco? Yeah, he's lazy, hiding down here. I just got shot at by someone exactly as I was looking down, slash talking to my dad. So I didn't see where it came from, and they're not shooting at me anymore. I'm not even moving, only just standing still. Okay. Bro. Oh, that person. Oh, they're bad anyway. I almost died there. Almost died there.
I
Howdy.
don't think I will be on that long, only for a brief time.
Oh no, that's alright. You have to go to bed pretty soon, I imagine.
Yes, I have
Yeah,
some
your
stuff
time
to
sounds
do
different.
tomorrow.
What time do you have to get up and do things?
Um, in in about 7 or 8 hours.
Oof, that sucks. Do you have work, or is it just like you're hanging out with like family or friends or something? Or
Uh, yeah, is some studying I have to do,
I gotcha.
and I also have to like I was. Have you ever heard of like uh, a fake live album before?
Live album?
A fake live album.
No.
Typo Negative had a fake live album called Origin of the Feces.
Origin of the Feces.
The
That's
album cover is like the cover of the album is like a black and white picture of someone's hairy ass. And recently on vinyl, they did a scratch and sniff sticker on it. That actually happened. But I decided to try something similar on my channel just to see how if it would be funny or something.
how's it going for that? Have you tried it yet, or
Yeah, uploaded it.
successful so far, or not?
I think the mix wasn't that good. I don't know how to mix. All
Nah.
this time, I still don't know how to mix. When I first started, I recorded guitar with a headphone microphone. That alone should show some show how bad I'm at mixing if I use like headphone microphones to record guitars from an amp.
I mean, when it comes down to it, you're still better than me because I don't know how to make music whatsoever. Besides playing the saxophone, but even then, I haven't played that in years. So yeah, I don't know how to make music at all.
How does anybody pick up the saxophone?
Oh,
Like,
school.
okay.
Yeah, it was pretty much just like school wanted me to do things. When you're in sixth grade, you can either go into choir or you can go into band, and I chose to go into band.
Qu- Choir must, yeah, I was forced into some choir before too, and it's a kind of a boring way to sing because if one cannot hear one's own voice that well,
Yeah,
so how is one supposed to improve that much if one goes to choir and can't hear one's own voice?
true. You always hear it in like an octave or two lower, also. So it's like you're never really getting the accurate voice that you're singing with. Like I sound better than I actually sound when I sing, like to myself. I don't know why. Oh, the circle's over here.
Unfortunately, I'm the one who has to sing for like the band. Unfortunately, I wish someone else could do it, but that's how it is.
This is
I'm
just like you're
I'm
the
not
only
that
one
good at,
capable.
huh?
Are you the only one capable of singing, or the only one who
Yeah,
wants to?
Oscar from the band can't sing. I asked him, and it's difficult to find singers. there's like the bedroom bands on the Reddit where I've found some bassists before, and and it's possible to find people on bedroom bands. I'm not that good at singing. I often do mistakes, but I think I can tell when I screwed up.
Hmm.
So I can just re-record it enough times until it sounds okay, but I'm a bit lazy too, so even if it doesn't sound that good, I tend to keep the recording.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I'm basically live. Whenever I do live streams or uploading videos, I just do one take of everything. I don't really care about the quality. I just do it. But then again, it's a little bit different than music, I suppose. But hey, I mean, your channel is pretty good when it comes to music. I like your stuff.
Thanks.
It's hard rock. I like hard rock.
But
Oh, what was that?
but I guess when if you do live streams, you can always do another one and another one after that. So there is bound to be some live stream where i- that that you can be proud of, or something you find uh, high quality stuff in.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a channel like a Mendham's where it's just like a bunch of random quality gold scattered everywhere amongst chaos. Well, Mendham's videos are all pretty good, so they're all just there's a lot of stuff you have to go sort through. In case Mendham ever watches this, sorry, Gary.
I doubt that Mandem will watch this exact thing.
Yeah, I doubt it either. I don't even. What's the title of it? Uh, Inner Scream Waking Dream.
You have you have a couple of tags and hashtags on the video, so maybe that helps the chances of him finding it a little bit.
Yeah, the hashtags help popularity. That way, if you type in EFILism to the search bar, it's more likely to pop up, which is cool. That guy just ran off.
So with like a live stream, one only gets like one chance to like get it right.
A live stream does.
Unfortunately, but with me,
You say a live stream does?
yes,
Yeah, kind of.
but one can do more attempts until one can get some stuff the way one wants it to.
If you say something stupid, you kind of just fuck the whole stream. But it comes down to it, you can do a lot of streams in a row, as you said. Like I stream like 3 times in a day sometimes. Like well, like in the morning, and then I'll take a break and do some stuff, and then around lunch I'll do something, and then late at night.
Yeah, if I fuck up and say something like 2 + 2 is 5 or something, yeah, just as an example, that's going to be the internet forever.
The internet forever.
And but it, but it's good to just not, if one fucks up, it's better to not think about it.
Yeah, that is true. I'm gonna grab.
But the way you're doing it, like live streams, it's a good way to get content out there too. Instead
Yeah,
of it takes more time, like rehearsing videos, or even the quickest way would be to just do a live stream while one does something.
basically, I don't like even recording and like ideas ahead of time because I don't like. I don't know. I just not good at. I'm more of like a wing it type of person. So yeah, I kind of just like doing live streams because I'm already winging it. So I may as well just like wing it while like I'm actively thinking of ideas rather than like you know thinking of an idea then pre-recording it and then uploading it and then it's just like what if I'm busy when I hear first think of the idea and all that. It's like I'm just gonna be straight live thinking my thoughts, people asking whatever they want to ask me, because that's another thing that I have struggles with is like I have a lot to say but I don't have like reasons to say it until someone asks me. So if like someone asks me a question, I usually have an answer for it, but I don't really have like a reason to like just go on and like spewing truth.
But
Oh,
yeah,
are you,
yeah, it feels better to speak truth if like someone asks about it. Otherwise, it would feel unwanted. Is that it? That
yeah, it feels kind of imposed one, and two, it just kind of feels like there's no demand for the content. Like I'm just kind of like talking about something, but I don't even know if really people care about listening to it, and I don't really know if like people are really basically I just don't know if people are interested in hearing what I have to say until like someone asks me a question if like they're curious about it, especially considering most of my stuff that I know and think about are just a mishmash of other people's ideas. It's not like really anything like original for the most part, besides maybe like uh ethical sadism, but that's barely even original. So I mean when it comes down to it, it's just kind of like what do I say that someone else hasn't already said, and I don't know, there isn't much.
to to come up with original stuff is difficult too, since considering how large the population is and how much one has heard, most of it must probably be stuff other people has already said.
Basically. So it's kind of like Amendum's basically like that close to the truth, like right there. And same with like Magnus Vinding and daily negativity and stuff. It's just like everybody already says like what matters. It's just I'm just trying to like combine all of it together by being like psychological hedonism, utilitarianism. Basically, I'm just like trying to put all the terms together and what matters in terms of like ethical truth. And then if people have questions, they can ask me it. But otherwise, like my intro video is pretty much just like saying all the terms that kind of matter, and then being like, if people have questions about those terms, like let me know. So now it's just kind of waiting for people to ask me questions about what I believe in, and then being like, yo, this is what I believe in, and this is why you should believe it too. Well, hmm.
S- something, but if there would be something original to say, I don't know what that would be. Something original, but in the heat of the moment, and when one is in a stream, and when the stream of consciousness is starting, I think that is when one can come up with something original more easily. And the more you do these streams, the higher is the likelihood you'll eventually come up with something original, maybe.
Basically, I can only hope, at least. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever do anything big with this channel. I'm pretty much just gonna probably be a small channel that just live streams and talks to people within the antinatalist community, basically. But you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, hopefully someday I'll blow up like David Benatar. Just kidding, that'll never happen. It's a shame that David Benatar got kicked out of this university.
Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like standing up against like bullying on campus, and it's because some of the staff were being fucked up. And then basically he called out the staff, and then the staff retaliated, and the administration fired him.
So I just imagined the reason he got kicked. I just assumed the reason he got kicked out was because of some of his pessimistic, some of his views on antinatalism, or maybe he finally admitted to being a promotalist or something like that. But it was actually just that he tried to stand up against bullying.
I forgot what it was. I mean, it might be something like that, but I think it had something to do with like racism or sexism or something like that. But and I know they also were attacking his papers in general because he mentioned that they were doing things to him in the past. I'm pretty sure. I can try pulling up the article at some point. Maybe I'll do that and review that at some point for when I video this on my channel. But yeah, it's interesting how like colleges can basically do whatever the fuck they want. I'm gonna purchase this med lady.
Maybe some other place will accept him.
Oh, I'd hope so, and they probably will. I mean, he's a brilliant philosopher. I mean, he's sold a lot of books and stuff. I mean, he probably doesn't really even need. He probably doesn't really need the job just because he probably does have a bunch of money from his books. But I'm sure he likes to be in the academic sphere. So yeah, it's just a shame that he got fired. Yeah, South Africa's kind of a shitty country too. So I don't know what you would do in terms of jobs.
And maybe this he was also someone who helped antinatalism get more into not a lot more into the mainstream, just a little bit. I talked to someone who just knew about antinatalism through watching either Sam Harris or Jordan Peterson and David Benatar talk,
Hmm.
and they just knew the word. It's yes, one good thing about antinatalism for like as a marketing thing is that once you hear it, it's not it's hard to forget it. Either it clicks or either they hate it so much that it just sticks around in their minds.
Yeah, people will definitely get angry. That's for sure. And I know that because I do activism, and people flip me off all the time and tell me to get a life and shit. And I'm like, bruh, y'all get life. So people are angry for no reason.
Yeah, how they're like saying, how dare you do something important? Why can't you just have selfish goals like the rest of us or something?
Yeah, honestly, it's annoying. My parents are kind of like that too. They want me to just be career oriented and shit like that. And I'm like, I'm not career oriented. I don't really care about my future job or future house or where I'm living or who I'm dating. And it's just like, no, I just want to do something of value in my life. And they're like, and they're all a bunch of skeptics. So they're just like, well, what's really valuable? It's like, it's God, and if God doesn't exist, then nothing's valuable, man. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, everybody in life is kind of it's like that. Yeah, it's everywhere, even in my own family. You said your family's
That
not religious, by the way, right?
uh, my mother was recently religious.
Ah,
I guess the rest of my family on my mother's side is religious, not on my father's side. My father can't be religious since there's all. I remember the harshest comment that I got, the harshest comment ever
hmm.
on a video. It was this natalist who said to me that if I really wanted to, it would. If I hate life so much, I could just get really drunk and choke myself with a plastic bag.
Oh, that's pretty dark. Damn.
We didn't need to go that dark, did he? It was mean.
Yeah, it's definitely just for like shock value to try to like make you like think about death and stuff and be like, oh, they're just assholes for the most part. People are dickheads. I mean, I understand the mindset because I'm a little asshole like that. So I would say I would say for something graphic for probably for more benevolent reasons, like I use graphic analogies, but yeah, that's uncalled for. It's not even like a proper analogy. It's just being an asshole and telling someone to kill themselves in a graphic way. So that's yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, all that is an attempt to make my pain receptors fire off stuff. No different from if you had uppercutted me or something.
Basically, an assault on the mind.
It's something I talked. thought about is really mental abuse and and like physical violence is very similar to each other. It's both an attempt to harm the individual and it, 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 that's I thought I had but but mental abuse or verbal abuse stuff is frowned upon less because it generally doesn't tend to leave that much damage, but it can. But physical stuff is more likely to lead to someone getting hurt or something. That's why I think it's more frowned upon. But they're both really attempts to like harm someone, make someone's pain receptors fire off.
Yeah, it's just fucked up behavior perpetuated. Damn, that was an annoying fight. You personally think that words are worse than physical violence, or would you rather get beat up, or would you rather get like verbally assaulted in like a? Because I know some people that are like, for me personally, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just get someone to say something mean to me. I'm not a big fan of physical violence, but I know people that are like would rather take a physical beating than you know, I guess deal with emotional abuse or any type of emotional situation, which is weird to me, but I guess I kind of understand the sentiment.
The potential of a beatdown could be worse. I could break a bone or get concussed or something. But at least with like verbal stuff, uh, the potential of harm is less.
That's true.
So I would rather take verbal abuse.
Are there any laws about verbal abuse, like in terms of just like talking to strangers and saying mean things? I don't think so.
I think there might be laws when it comes to like discrimination. Um,
Hmm. I guess yeah. When it comes to discriminating, yeah, I guess there's probably stuff like that. Interesting. That's about it though. Interesting. How do I activate this?
a, a, a common something I noticed is a common type of thing people like to call the people they dislike is like idiot and stuff. People love to use the word idiot, but I think what it does is for the people are not smart. It creates a lot of insecurity for the people who are not smart to just hear people use the word idiot all the time.
Yeah, it's demeaning.
It's like kind of similar to like if a black person heard everyone say the N word all the time. I think it's similar to that.
Yeah, it's just to meant to bring people down a little bit to their own level because they themselves are lower. They themselves are people with low confidence, low self-esteem, so they try to hurt people by bringing them down using words.
But in Mandem's case, when he uses the word stupid, I think it's because I can understand it because is for him that's the problem. If they were just intelligent enough to get the point, the world wouldn't be the way it is. Therefore, it has such a bad quality to it. For him,
No, you definitely have a point. Yeah, there's certain cases where calling someone stupid is definitely justified. If someone's Professor Anton, no offense, Professor Anton, if you're watching this, I feel like it's probably justified to call them stupid. Yeah, some
the,
people just, I don't know, man. When you're like start justifying like really sadistic things because you're like, I don't know, man. What if? How can I know if I'm not a brain in a vat or something? Like, when people start doing like that type of stuff, I'm like, yeah, maybe I will just start getting mean. But that's just me being a philosophy major, angry at all the skeptics that are around me.
it can seems to help to discourage such behavior. I think it can be worth it. Unfortunately, it comes with a cost of making some people insecure about their intelligence. But I guess it's how much of I guess it's such a common thing to hear that word that if someone else says it, would it even make such a difference?
Hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean. When people say idiot so much, it kind of loses its value. I mean, it's still mean, but it still kind of loses its value. There's a ton of people going over here. I'm gonna die.
I think everyone has some kind of varying degrees of birth defects, and those in like the development in the womb and stuff like that, and that tends that 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 tends to that's really the reason why everyone are the way they are, like due to that, just varying degrees of like birth defects and like and if someone is dumb, then it's not really their fault either.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a chest deformity. My brain's also pretty deformed too. Not literally, I'm not like retarded, but like I mean like in a psychotic type of way. I'm not normal. So my brain is a little fucked. So yeah, you're definitely right. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. I'm far.
Like, doesn't seem like this deformity affects your intelligence, so that's good.
Thank you. uh, Maybe a little bit, but not enough to be a notable thing. Yeah. In general, I'd say not like top of my class or anything. I'm just like midway point. I'm like slightly smarter than average.
How, but it's I wanted to ask you something. I thought about the dark sides of being a Buddhist monk. It
Hmm.
sounds really dark to have to be so bothered about reincarnation that one has is forced into this meditation retreat for the rest of one's life with a bunch of strangers, leaving one's family behind forever.
Yeah. Just living in a temple and all that shit.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a wild life. I mean, it has an appeal to it. I don't deny that. The only appeal is just the fact that you don't have to have a responsibility and you can just kind of stop caring, I guess. I mean, that's the whole point of Buddhism is stop caring, I guess. So, yeah. Uh, you can just kind of let go of your problems and just.
but it does feel like prison with less violence and a bunch of males together in this closed space. Or I guess I can wander more around than a regular prison, but does remind me a little bit of a prison, like Buddhist temples.
Hmm. So you would never live in a monastery, assuming you were Christian, like religious to some extent, or like if you
If
believed in
if
God
I
or
thought it would
reincarnation.
help with not being reincarnated, I would.
Hmm. Interesting.
I think almost everybody would if they were convinced enough it would help with reincarnation or not being reincarnated. I also thought about so 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 one has to get good karma to not be reincarnated or to how I would to actually. It seems like everyone has to get good karma and one is one one is told to do these good things, but then when one has a lot of good karma, one can be a Buddhist monk, and instead of doing good things and helping others, they just meditate. I don't see logically how meditation is supposed to increase karma, but I guess they have enough karma by then, so they just need to meditate, and then after that they can be not be reincarnated.
Hmm.
But
I think I've heard like the saying that apparently only like 18 people or like 18 to like 50 people apparently in all of history have transcended and basically reached the point where they're no longer being reincarnated, which is scary to think about, seeing as there have been like 100 billion people on the planet, and only like 30 of them potentially have ever reached enlightenment,
but
according to
that would be
myths.
impossible to know, wouldn't it? How, how could there, if one reaches nirvana, one can come back and write like a list of everybody who reached nirvana, or maybe it's possible.
I guess it's more like claims, but like I guess couple different. I guess there's a couple different ways you can reach nirvana. Apparently, I mean, there's one where it's like you no longer your body stops decaying, which is like this very long, arduous ritual of like starving yourself and stuff. But I guess there's like the way of just like being a really good person and all that jazz, which I guess only certain monks have reached that status where they claim they have reached that. I guess like yeah, like someone in theory could like reach it and never be like no one would ever find out, you know. But like according to like official records, I don't think there's been very few. There's very few people who have ever reached nirvana. I'm gonna look it up actually. I'm curious now. How many people have reached nirvana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess yeah. There's if you go into the list of claimants for Wikipedia for Buddhist people that have claimed to reach enlightenment, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's only 14 people. So I think there might be more, but at least on Wikipedia, there's only 14 people that apparently have ever reached enlightenment and have claimed to have in Buddhist records. Which is pretty wild. I mean, like 100 billion people and only 14 people have ever reached enlightenment. That's a lot of pain and suffering. And that's just humans.
Yeah, so the whole karma system to that one gets reborn, and yeah, and like free will and all that stuff aside, if one just does something bad and gets reborn into something worse than what one already was, then isn't it going to make it even harder to be? It, that's unfair because one is forced to have this brain that is prone to do bad things, and then
Yeah,
one gets punished for it.
yeah. It's all religions are like that. They literally just have like this whole system of like you were made in this way, and then now we punish you for being made in said way, because we're all inherently bad or whatever. And yeah, it's Christianity, I guess like Islam, I'm not sure about Islam, but I know Christianity is really big into the whole like you're born into sin and we're all bad people and jazz. Buddhism, I don't know if it's really like that per se, but it kind of has the same energy, kind of the same vibe. Buddhism
Yeah,
is
I've
the
also I've never seen like a post before on the internet or anything on YouTube of of like a Buddhist monk talking about them being terrified of reincarnation. Maybe they are, maybe a lot of them are, but then but the Buddhist monks I've seen just seems very calm.
yeah, they all have a cold level of stoicism to themselves. Which have you ever heard Slavoj Žižek?
Never.
He's a Russian philosopher, and he basically believes that Buddhism not inherently is bad, but like that essentially it can lead to like a lot of really horrible outcomes due to like the whole idea of like stoicism and like detachment. It's like basically if you get like so detached from the world, eventually you can like allow yourself to do some pretty evil stuff. And so apparently like the Nazis and the Japanese would like teach Buddhism and stuff like that just to like uh essentially forgot what the exact reason they taught. It was basically just to like allow people to like do war crimes without getting like PTSD, which is really fucked up if you think about it. It's just like here we're gonna teach you how to become Buddhist. That way you can commit war crimes while thinking that you're just like doing some wacky metaphysical woo-wah shit instead of actually killing someone.
It does sound. I can't say it's too good to be true because it's not good that someone does that. But I wonder, it doesn't seem like it could have worked that well. To, I don't know if it's possible to just like have use one's religion to not feel bad about hurting others. But maybe it is. It could be. It could give someone more confidence that they'll be able to hurt others. I heard that in war, a lot of the time they didn't shoot. They shot above people's heads a lot, or
Hmm.
they not kill them and stuff.
Like on purpose?
Yes,
Interesting. That's weird. I didn't know that. Just like scare people off and stuff, or
I think it was. I heard it was so they didn't have to kill people.
hmm.
I think it mostly happened in this like bunker war or in like bunker warfare or I don't know what it's called when they dig these holes and just lay in them for months, sometimes years, and shoot at the other side in the similar holes. Maybe it's just called bunker warfare. Not sure.
Banker warfare?
Or no, I don't know the word for when they in World War Two and World War One when they were in those holes they dug. You know, not,
Trenches.
oh yeah, trenches. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, okay, now I remember it.
Yeah, trenches are an interesting tactic. It's basically just dig a big old pit and run at each other when you get a good chance to run at each other, and hope that they don't shoot you. War is wild.
In situations like trenches, one I think a lot of people there shot above other people's heads, and such actions couldn't be punished a lot either, since how could one tell they missed on purpose?
True. I mean, a lot of it, I imagine, is like suppressing fire too, which is just like keep people like stuck where they are and stuff, or like allow people to move. War. What is it good for the economy? Okay, there's someone over here. I have no clue.
I've heard a lot about these Buddhist. A lot of people saying Buddhist monks are have have more peace inside their minds. But I should read upon it if Buddhist monks are as peaceful as some people read them as, or if they just say it. Maybe just,
I imagine they probably have a bunch of like frustrations, at least of like the sexual nature. It's because they like, get like castrated. Well, if they don't get castrated, at least, so they're like told to like I don't even know, man. They're just basically told not to have sex ever. It's just wild.
they could get on a high no fab streak at least.
What was that?
There's also these Shaolin monks who perform these circus tricks too. Like like the everybody has seen those Shaolin monks with where they put like their throat at a spear, but it's just a practice spear anyway, which can bend.
I don't think I have. So they just put the spear down their throat. Is that what you said?
Yeah, but it's a practice spear that bends, so it doesn't really cause damage.
Ah, okay.
But I yeah, I guess it's to just to seem tough. I I looked up some Shaolin monk stuff on YouTube and they do these hand conditioning exercises where they uh, p- just slam their hands in sand and punch newspapers and condition even their skulls and stuff.
That's wild. I don't want anybody would be motivated to do that. Buddhist monks are wild though. There's that like weird pain thing. So they're kind of like they're like say pain is like the problem of life, yet at the same time they do like a lot of stuff that causes pain for some reason.
Yeah, they also has this. They also have this kata thing almost. I don't know what the Shaolin monks would call it. They have this martial art moves they make in the air without not really shadow boxing, but they almost like a dance. I never understood why it is in various martial arts like karate and especially traditional martial arts. They will do kata stuff, but but why not just shadow box?
Huh, it's a good question. It's probably just because I have no clue actually. Why don't they just shadow? It
If
has to
this
be just aesthetic, right? It has to be just like the way they look, like they want to look cool,
it could be.
or like they think it make I don't know. I think punching something actually makes them a better person or something. I don't know. I guess I'll go.
Yeah, it seems kata stuff is not that useful, considering a lot of the world class martial artists don't tend to even do it.
You watch martial arts a lot, or
I yes, yes, I tend to watch the UFC.
UFC?
So, yeah, the UFC, and I watch some uh, mixed martial arts podcasts on YouTube, mainly the Weasel.
You watch Joe Rogan? Are you a fan of him or no? I know he talks a lot about martial arts.
I I see some clips about him where he talks about that a bear could fuck everyone up and stuff. He likes to talk about wild animals and how dangerous they are a
Yeah,
lot. He talks about bears, tigers, even chimps. A wild animal attacks. He has talked a lot about those. No, no, I don't tend to watch like a single episode of his podcasts. I just watch clips where he talks about certain UFC fighters and wild animals. Mostly because it pops up on my feed, so that's why I watch it. But it's alright. I, I don't mind watching Joe Rogan go on about wildlife animals and how dangerous they are, and if a bear could win against a silverback gorilla and stuff.
yeah, he definitely has wild conversations at the very minimum. They're always fun to listen to. Can silverback gorilla beat a shark?
I think the bear would win.
The bear would win.
It weighs more.
They
It
have really
also
big
has,
claws.
I think they both have claws, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they both have really big teeth, but I think bears have claws, but gorillas I don't really think have claws.
Oh yeah, they don't. Oh yeah, I was mistaken. They don't. So that would give the bear an advantage.
Yeah, I think people look at monkeys in movies and stuff and think they're like that, and I'm like, nah, man, monkeys aren't that smart. I mean, they're smart, but they're not like crazy smart.
Yeah, I went to Google images, they don't have claws. I don't know why I thought that. So I tend to watch like the Weasel on YouTube and sometimes MMA news. I discovered that this fighter, Tony Ferguson, got into a DUI and a lot of,
DUI, drunk driving,
yes.
not good for him.
But I don't tend to watch a lot of sports, never really liked soccer or anything else. But when it comes, but I enjoyed
Boxing.
watching boxing or mixed martial arts. But it's not. It's a terrible thing that these people have to fight against each other and give each other damage. But I find it amusing regardless.
No, that's fair. Maxing a Snapchat.
There are different. Today I watched a little bit of the fight with Max Holloway versus Jay Rodriguez, and where I could.
You a fan of sports or just like more fan of like boxing and martial arts and stuff?
More like martial arts. I don't tend to watch a lot of grappling, but I like it when it's in a martial arts context.
Is it just the discipline, or is it more like what they do, like in terms of moves?
Is a good thing about it is it really determines who is the strongest of who is the really strongest.
Hmm.
Maybe it's more realistic that the strongest is the one that can run the fastest or climb the furthest, lift the most weights. But maybe the strongest is, in my mind, is the one who can win against another in a fight. But I like the moves. That's entertaining to watch. What they do, it's impressive. Not only the moves, but if they have an impressive chin or cardio or punch output and stuff like that.
Interesting. I'm not a fan of sports, really. I don't know why. I've never been able to get into them.
What about what about like combat sports? How have you felt watching that?
For some reason, I just have never really been into watching people do much of anything in terms of watching people do streaming, in terms of watching people like game, watching people. I'm not a big fan of watching people like do things. I'm more like I will watch people like do like informational content, but in terms of like watching people do things I could be doing myself, I'm not really a big fan of it. And then in general, I'm not a big fan of sports because I just don't like doing sports very much. Oh no, it's weird. My family likes sports. A little. I mean, my dad likes sports. My brother likes sports. My mom doesn't.
It's understandable. All they really do is fling their limbs around for 25 minutes and try to make the other person sleep and stuff.
I mean, I can't really insult it. I mean, what am I doing right now? Playing Fortnite. It's just a bunch of digital people doing bullshit that's not even real and has almost no skill behind it. So it's like at least sports have like health benefits. So I mean, I can't really dunk on sports too hard. They're just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I never, yeah, yeah, like when other people have like their soccer team that they're rooting on and stuff. It's like to me, it's like having rooting for which paint dries first, green or red. That's how it feels to me.
No, I feel you. Just arbitrary. Doesn't really matter. It's just fake goals, desire machine stuff. Essentially, like as Mendham always says, we're just creating artificial desires in order to feel like something is being accomplished. Same with sports.
Something in Mendham says is that like if one is going to win, then one has to create losers too.
Yeah,
Like if that and that applies to a lot of stuff. Like in if one tries to find a romantic partner, one has to like
take up the
screw the other people over.
yeah.
And if one wants to win in sport, one has to screw other people over who wants to win.
Yeah, I always wonder like, does it feel better for the winners to win, or is it worse when the losers lose in terms of like the intensity of emotions? And it always feels like, I mean, I don't know, it's like the winners win and then they immediately like go back to trying to win more stuff. So it's not like they're like running at like riding off the high of the win for like a long period of time. But like losers, like people that lose in like a something like, I don't know, it can be pretty tough. Like some people take their own lives and other crazy shit. So it's like life's tough. Like I like being a loser it almost feels like it's worse than being a winner, like in terms of intensity of emotion, a more intense feeling.
Yeah, that's a good point for the winner. Like never, really never enough for a boxer or a champion to just win the championship once. They feel they have to defend it, and then the next goal is legacy.
Hmm.
After they defended it a couple of times, they want to be the best ever and defend it a couple of times. But
I almost
a
forgot.
lot of these losers that lose a lot tend to stick it out too. There's a lot of journeymen in the UFC who loses a lot, but still persist. And not that I'm trying to make a point that losing is not that bad, but
Yeah, losing is not that bad, but it can feel bad. It's better off to be like stoic about things and just not care if you can. But I mean, you know, like it's not a big deal. It's not like you're like losing a limb or something, you know. But as a, it can feel just like Mendham like had his Levi's tag ripped off his jeans, and that was a big deal to him. But it's like doesn't seem like it would be a big deal to anybody. Similar like that, like losing a sports game can be like a big deal to the person who loses to the game, even though it's really rather insignificant to like someone's quality of life.
the Levi tag being ripped off his jeans, that could have been the reason he became an EFIList all along.
That would be funny. Imagine.
But I also want to get more hobbies and stuff. Like I aspire to be more of a reader.
Reader,
Yes,
what type of books do you like to read?
I don't read a lot of books, so I haven't done that a lot. But I aspire to read more stuff.
Do you prefer audiobooks or
Uh, yeah, yeah, like both. I guess audiobooks can be better if one needs to do something else. Like if one has to do something else, audiobooks can be better. Like if one walks, it's certainly better to listen to audiobooks.
yeah, I'm a fan of listening to audiobooks just in general. I'm not a big fan of reading just because I have ADHD, so it's hard to pay attention to the words on the page. When it comes to listening, I'm pretty okay at that.
But there was enjoyed reading the autobiography of Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. I found it interesting. But I think maybe it could be good to read more stuff because if I'm talking with other people or my friends, then if I have read something or learned something, then I would have more stuff to say than if I just did nothing.
Yeah, there's that aspect of it. Plus, there's just like a lot of books that have good information, like Magnus Vinding, Suffering Focused Ethics, or like Arthur Schopenhauer. Plus, there's like fun stories out there. I mean, those ones are good just like for yourself, but also, as you said, for conversation. Like, if I had to recommend a fun book, I'd recommend like The Greatest Spear Run Ever, which is pretty good. It's about Vietnam and about like a dude that decided to deliver beer to a bunch of his friends and strangers in the front lines. So it's pretty funny. It's just a wild story.
Have you ever heard of this channel called Martin Butler? Or
Martin Butler?
he changes up the name a lot.
I don't think so. Martin Butler. What's this channel about?
Yeah, like various stuff. I haven't seen. I find it relaxing. Like why one shouldn't have too high of expectations. But it was a while ago since I listened to it, and he has channels on why like spirituality and stuff is flawed. I should listen more to it. He doesn't have his videos in a playlist. I could make a I should make a playlist of the Martin Butler stuff.
Yeah, if you do, you should totally link me up with it in one of these live streams I posted in the comments or send it to me on like Facebook or something.
He has like videos on Spinoza and yeah, I saw this video Spinoza and why people are boring. That was of I recall the point of it that people are boring because they flaunt their achievements to one another. Have done this, have done this, and I, I I did that. I achieved this certain things. Personally, I don't experience that much myself. Most of the time when I'm talking to people, they seem to vent more and talk more about some of uh, the opposites of their achievements, their
Failures and stuff.
failures. Yes.
I suppose it probably depends on the person, but yeah, if they have like narcissism or something like that, they might talk about themselves quite a bit. But yeah, I think now a lot of people these days don't have a lot of confidence, so there's not a lot to be confident about these days. Uh, this person is running away.
I think it's better if I go to sleep.
I got you, my dude. Good night, and I hope your classes go well tomorrow, or you're studying.
Thanks. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Take care. That guy was easy to defeat. Damn, got lit up. So these fuckers in the final part of the game just sit around being pussies until the last minute and then kill you. There's someone actually watching me. No, it's just Twitch. Yeah. Liaison. That was queer. Goodbye.